No. Ava? You didn't think we'd need 3 glasses? I told you this was foolproof. It was even better than foolproof. Turns out that armored truck that came to pick up the gate at the ballpark, well, it was the last haul of a long day. We ain't just got a couple thousand in there. I think we've got 1 million.
That's a hell of a 3-way split.
Who said anything about a 3-way split? Old Pokey here did all the shooting and the robbing. And I drove the getaway car and was the brains behind this operation, but what exactly did you do?
This is my grandmother's old house, a place where we can hide. They can never be traced to us.
And did you kill your old grandma for this place?
No!
Then you ain't done nothing. We could have found the keys to this place ourselves. Now they're probably under that concrete frog out front.
Do you have something to say to your cousin?
What'd I tell you about calling me Pokey?
Yeah, your husband got a little salty tonight. Seems he gets a crawl up his butt about that mascot thing.
I thought that was just to scare people.
Oh, it scared him all right. A few bullet shots to the chest will scare the hell out of anybody.
They didn't take me serious.
Nobody takes you seriously. You're the mascot.
Well, that's why I had to pull the gun out.
Oh, Jesus.
That's why it was foolproof. They were unloading the gate. They never imagined the mascot would come up on them. But they laughed at me.
Again, mascot. People are supposed to laugh.
Well, they ain't laughing now.
You know, I ain't had nothing but my uncle's shine out of these old ball jars.
We had wine glasses. But we broke them. In a fight.
So what did Blitz then? There's been a change of plans. See, since your husband decided to go all OK Corral, I probably won't be leaving until the morning. Let things settle down a bit, so if you could just point me to a guest room.
Upstairs.
Thank you. Now, I'm a mite tired myself, but your husband might have some adrenaline he needs to shake off, from all the gunplay.
If my Tommy John surgery had took, I'd be in the majors right now instead of being the mascot. But that's how it went down. And here we are.
Tommy John? That sounds like a salon, not an operation. I mean, I was in Iraq pulling shrapnel out of my leg from an IED with a K-bar, and you hurt yourself throwing a ball.
Tommy John was only in the top 10 of left-handed pitchers of all time is all.
And I'm sure when they run the bottom 10 of that list, your phone will be ringing off the hook. Now, half of that is mine. And the other half's yours, and whatever you do with your half ain't none of my concern.
So, you gonna pour me a glass?
You're looking pretty down for a guy that just got a bag of money.
You're gonna be gone in the morning, so don't worry about it. Maybe I'll see you at Christmas.
Shit. I'll still be in Bangkok watching the ping pong shows at Christmas. Look, your marriage ain't my business.
Damn straight.
But your wife just came to me talking about a two-way split.
What are you talking about?
I don't know if she means to snitch you out or kill you, but I ain't having any part of it.
That's some bullshit.
Blood is blood, cousin. It's the way it's always been. I remember when you were in the hospital, getting your operation done, there was some real Bull Durham shit going on with your teammates. Except a lot more spit roasting.
We gotta do something about Robbie. I'm even less afraid of a bat than you throwing a ball at me. Did you ever have a hit in the major leagues? I can't say major leagues, can I? That stadium that you robbed. You bottomed out. What was it? Single A? Triple A? It was one of those battery sizes.
AAA. Right below the majors.
Right below the majors. Lana Ehrenberg here, and this is my husband.
Derek Roberts. We are here to determine if there's any validity to these claims of the supernatural by spending a night
Alone
in the ghost house.
What do you know about this this place, this Devil's Coming?
You know, it used to be this artist colony.
Everybody got murdered.
I saw somebody in the window. I'm not joking. I saw somebody in the window.
They've been hurt. Tortured.
Can you tell me what you're feeling, what you're experiencing?
So much death.
What just happened was amazing. Our psychic, Tabitha, got in touch with the dark forces that are overrunning this property.
Forgot to tell you before we walked in, we're gonna do a seance.
Let our light be your guide. Get out! Die! Go!
Alright, okay. Look, Tabitha, come on. Come on!
Fucking funeral. It's your fucking funeral.
Do you hear that? Hear what?
It sounds like rhythmic drumming.
Here too.
Okay, it's definitely coming from up there.
Door to the basement is open.
Oh my god! Ford! Wake up!
Okay, I'm hearing this. This is not me. This is not me.
This just got real. It's not a show anymore.
Shit!
Talk to me, please. Please talk to me.
Hi, welcome to Film Speak. Here, this is the mecca for film geeks and film professionals. We love to talk about film. I'm sitting here with two marvelous actors who are very busy. You guys are in tons of stuff. But we're here with Titus Wolverton and John Hamburg. I did not mess it up again. Good. That's
Nailed it. Twice.
Good. I will take it. If we have to do a third take, though, I'm not promising anything. Thank you guys for coming on Film Speak.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Absolutely wonderful. We'll hop right into putting the biscuit in the gravy. Start with you, Titus, because I know you just attended a world premiere last night.
Yes, I did.
You are very active with lots of films, so catch us up to what you've been up to.
Last night was the world premiere at Inglewood Cinema for a movie called Alone in the Ghost House, directed by Henrik Kuto, and John is one of the stars of that movie. Yep. And I won't say too much about it because I don't want to take away his thunder, but it was a great film and a great time. And I think for the found footage genre that it represents, it was high quality. I mean, very entertaining. Everybody did a great job, and it's I think it's better than a lot of other films that are in the same genre that I've seen. So
Thank you. Thank you.
I think it's
Thank you
going
very
to do
much.
very well. John was great in the movie. It was very entertaining. So, but I won't say too much about that because that's his baby. I just completed acting in a movie called Calamity Jane's Revenge.
Yes.
And I play a character named Lemonade.
Also another Henrik Kuto movie.
Henrik Kuto directs, and that's got a huge ensemble cast, and Erin R. Ryan plays Calamity Jane, so she leads that cast. But we have some celebrity contributions in the talent pool for that film, and John Oak Dalton wrote the script. It's very, very good, very funny and witty. And
I've been following some of the production and stuff as it's been posting on Facebook and stuff is leaked out and everything, and it just looks amazing.
It was a lot of fun to make. I was only on set for one day, but it's very Western-esque. I mean, it's got the elements of Western that you would expect. So we've had a lot of fun doing that, and we got to see the world premiere of the trailer for Calamity Jane last night.
Which was fantastic.
Oh,
it was
nice.
exciting to see that.
It looks incredible.
Yeah. Can't wait for
That's
it.
a remarkable thing because, and I'm going to be starting again seeking distribution for my movie Fairy Tales, but in January, when I first was calling like all these distribution companies, what I was getting time and time again was horror is out, right? We don't want horror. The two things we want the most are westerns and sci-fi. And I think it's great to see a locally made western being made to fill that niche.
Yeah, I had such a great time doing Calamity Jane. I've got a taste, like a hunger for Western stuff now. I didn't know how much I would enjoy that, but it was great. And so, you know.
If you want to know good Westerns to watch,
yeah.
I have a list of favorites, probably 20, 30 long, because it's an American genre. I mean, you know, movies itself and the art form of movies, even though influenced by other places around the country, I think they were influenced first by America and France, you know.
Well, it's our culture. I mean, it's
Yeah.
westward
Oh, yeah.
expansion of our country, so much of our very being is Western in its underpinnings.
Though in Korea, a couple years ago, they had a movie come out called The Good, the Bad, and the Weird. And it is a Korean Western.
Interesting.
It's kind of
That's
a
weird.
kind of
Yeah,
remake of
interesting.
Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is brilliant. The action in it and camera work is just mind-blowing. So if you get a chance to check out The Good, the Bad, and the
We're
Weird, I
gonna
would
check that
recommend
out.
it.
Yeah, definitely.
Bill
Yeah.
says it's good. So
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
good.
I've watched it 6 times now.
Yeah.
Just because there's this one part in it, and I was like, oh my God, how'd they do that shot? And it took me a while, and I realized that's a drone camera.
Yeah.
It's the only way, because I was like, there's no way they could have got a jib to do that. Anyways, tangent. John. Now he was mentioning that you had a lead role.
Yeah. So we had the world premiere last night of Alone in the Ghost House. Like you said, it's a found footage horror film. It is Henrik's first found footage horror film, and so it was kind of an experiment for everybody. And the interesting thing about it is that it was shot in just 3 days.
Wow.
And it was basically, just almost entirely improv, actually. And we had a couple pages of script, and
Which is nothing for a feature film.
yeah, and most of that script got thrown out in the final product. So most of what you're seeing is improvised. So basically, we were told, what to do, just not how to do it or how to say it.
Yeah.
So it was a little nerve-wracking at first when I heard about the project, and Henrik, knew that I was moving to Seattle then the month after. So he basically just, got everyone together and said, we got 3 days, let's just
knock it out.
Let's just knock it out. And I was really happy with the results. Yeah.
So it was a little intimidating moving in to like improving a role. Did it help you though, like when establishing character, having that kind of freedom to just run with a character?
Yeah, I really enjoyed that because I feel that watching it, it feels very, very naturalistic. People, talk over each other or just say whatever, and basically Henrik gave us the freedom to just go run with it, just go with it. We'll just pick and choose what we want to put in the final product afterwards. We shot over about 4 hours, I believe, of footage, and we had to shrink it down to 88 minutes.
Wow.
So yeah.
Excuse me. And the plot is that there's this television show. It's a reality show, ghost hunter kind of thing, and they're checking out a house to discover or disprove the existence of a ghost in the house, and their goal is to spend the night, and it's part of a tour, right? Part of a larger haunted house tour.
So there's a husband and wife duo who's trying to basically make a name for themselves for this reality show called Alone in the Ghost House, and we're trying to compete with the ghost hunting shows. And so we go out to various houses, and my character mistakenly hires this really phony psychic, to try to lend credibility to the show, and nobody likes this woman at all. She's just a total, creep. So
you hired her from what source?
From Craigslist.
From Craigslist. Oh, okay.
Yeah. A Craigslist psychic.
Can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong with Craigslist.
My issue, because I've met. Most psychics I've met are fake, and I've met some real ones. But my issue has always been if they're psychic and I have a problem, why don't they call me? Because if they're psychic, they should. They'd be like, oh, hey, you got a problem. You're psychic.
Right. Well, isn't it Henrik's character Ford who says something to her like, "Were you like in a coma on September 10th, 2001?" That was that was pretty funny.
Yeah. What surprised everyone, I think, is that it's built as a horror movie, and it has a lot of horror elements, and I think people will be scared by it. But there are also a lot of comedic elements. We spend a good deal of the money poking fun at reality shows and found footage genres. So.
I think a good horror movie breaks up the horror with comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Because you can't spend all the time up here.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to have the rises and falls because they got to let you down, breathe easy, have a little bit of a laugh, and then again.
Right. Yeah, so after my character hires the psychic, Ford, played by Henry Kudo, pulls me aside and says, what do you think about your audience? Do you think this low of your audience that you would hire this phony psychic to come on your show? So.
That's awesome. But you talk about saying, doing an improv like that. Have you ever watched the Christopher Guest movies? Best in Show.
I've seen Best in Show, yes.
Waiting for Guffman, A Mighty Wind. That's how Christopher Guest does his movies. Was he walks in and says, this is the scene, describes it to his actors, and then they improv the whole scene and stuff, which is just amazing. He's done 5 films like that now. And they're all improv. It's just amazing to watch the actors knowing that none of this was written down. Right. And I'm sure they had to do take after take after take, to get it.
I've seen Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Love Whose Line. I love the original British version better. I always loved, because that's why I got hooked at first watching the English version before Drew Carey in the mid-90s.
Right on.
90s brought it.
Yeah.
Because I was hooked on that. I just love British humor. Now, before we close this segment, move on to talk about Jaws. Tell us anything you guys got coming up, and most importantly, where people can find out more information and see your work.
Thank you for the opportunity, Bill. I do want to mention, earlier in 2015, I was in a movie directed by Eric Whiting called Primordial. I play a character named Tony, and that's going to be quite a gritty, dramatic thriller type movie, and it's it's pretty wild. Okay.
I had a cameo appearance in that as well. I play
Nice.
strangled victim #1, I think.
So that movie's got a lot of intensity. Now coming up also from director Henrik Kuto, a romantic comedy that I'll be in with Aaron R. Ryan and others, and it's called Making Out. So we're really excited to bring that. I think it might be Henrik's first romantic comedy, so he's really spreading his wings in terms of genre, but we're going to make it really fun and appealing. And then also I want to plug, in the late summer I'm slated to be in a movie by director Ryan Stacy called Ladies' Night, the movie.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so it's going to kind of take elements from his 2 short films, Ladies' Night 1 and 2, and then just, combine that and build on that and make a feature film. And I'll be playing a homicide detective in that movie, so that'll be fun too. So.
That's kind of a different role too.
Yeah.
And, yeah, keep your eye out. I know I have seen some clips from Eric. He's through editing shown me a couple of things. I think he is a magnificent writer and director. Loved Hellhounds.
Oh, Helen's great. It's on my video shelf at home.
Yeah.
What a visionary. I mean, he doesn't pull any punches, you
Yeah.
know. And I was really proud of the fact that he said that he was very pleased with exactly what he imagined manifesting on screen. So it translated from page to screen very well. And if a director who's also the writer in this case is pleased with that, and I mean, what more can you ask for?
That's one of the
Absolutely.
things that gets me off the most is as a writer, when actors are able to take what I've written and then interpret them the way that I want. Because when you're like, oh my God, that's what I was picturing in my head while I was writing this.
Yeah.
And that's just a warm and fuzzy feeling.
Right.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out for Primordial, Making Out,
Ladies' Night, the movie.
Ladies' Night at the Movie,
Calamity Jane's Revenge.
Calamity Jane's Revenge.
And then the release date for the DVD release date for Scare
Scare
Waves,
Waves.
which we're both in, is October 27th.
So and that's perfect time to be able to buy that for Halloween.
That's right.
Yeah, so keep an eye out for Scareways also. Now, how about you, John? Do you have any, aside from the massive list that you just rattled off, are there any projects that you have coming up, and where can people find out about them?
Well, basically, yeah. People need to watch out for Ghost House coming out on DVD.
Alone in Ghost House.
Alone in Ghost House, and he already plugged Scare Waves. Yeah. So right now, I'm in a stage show. We do Star Trek in the Park in Seattle. So we take an original series episode, we adapt it for the stage.
Awesome.
Yep. So we'll be doing the episode Amok Time this year.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, and I just recently moved to Seattle, so I'm breaking into the film industry. Hopefully, I'll have some feature-length films to talk
That would be
about.
good. Please bring them back to Ohio to share.
Absolutely, yeah.
And
absolutely.
I hope you guys will one day do my favorite episode of Star Trek.
Which one? Which is
Trouble with Tribbles.
No.
No.
It's the one where Kirk and a landing party go down to this planet, and then when they're transporting up, there's an ion storm, and they switch with a universe where the Federation is evil, and everybody has go.
Oh yeah.
What was it?
that actually, yeah.
Hold on. The Intruder Within.
Yeah.
It has my favorite line from a Star Trek ever, at least from the series, because Wrath of Khan is one of my favorite movies.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter Star Trek movie, just favorite movie.
Just favorite movie,
all
period,
time.
yeah.
But for TV shows, it ends with Kirk is sitting there debating with Spock, that going around destroying planets and robbing them of resources and everything, eventually the Federation would collapse in itself, surviving like that. And Spock's like, well, what can I do? I'm just one person. And right before he beams out, Kirk goes, every revolution starts with one man with a vision. And that has resonated with me since I was 7 years old. Just that one line. I swear I was 7 years old with my blanket and teddy bear and stood up, went, yeah!
I'm a person too.
So I tell you what, if I'm in the financial, you let me know if you guys ever do that episode. And
I thought you were going to say, the one episode where Captain Kirk gets the girl.
it gets the girl. Yeah.
Are you talking about? Are you talking about
that
the?
lets it down.
Are you talking about the episode where Spock has a beard?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That actually has been done. Yeah. by
I'd
our
love to
production
see
company.
that.
Yeah. I believe
Rats.
that I was not in that production because I had not moved yet.
Yeah.
But I believe it is on film. So
Yeah, that is.
yeah.
Oh man, I'll have to check that out. If
Yeah.
you can send me the link,
Absolutely. Yeah.
I would love to. I'll even put on my Facebook page so they get some pimps.
So the Dayton film community has sadly lost John to Seattle, but Seattle is definitely gaining.
No,
to have
Not
him there.
necessarily. I'd love to come back and shoot more movies
You,
here.
you
But-
can't
Right,
look
right.
at it as Dayton
Full-time.
community
Full-time.
losing him. You have to look at it as Dayton spreading its tendrils.
We're loaning him out.
all
We're just
over
loaning
the
him out.
Yeah. But no, if opportunities come up here, you know, I'll gladly take part in it. So. Yeah.
Well, I'll let you know. I'm planning on. I'm writing a screenplay right now. I hope to shoot in October if I can get the money to make it. It's huge. Going to be a giant film noir with lots of blood.
Yeah.
The way I've been describing it to people is take Train Spotting, Reservoir Dogs, and Fistful of Dollars. You take those three movies and combine them, and that's kind of like what I'm writing.
Damn,
Nice.
son.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I'm trying to show my city, Dayton, with kind of an unflinching look. 'Cause
Okay.
we do live in a violent,
Grit.
drug-filled, gritty
Yeah.
city that walks around with torn clothes and a black eye. That's Dayton.
Yeah.
You know. Well, thank you, and please join me here in a second. We'll be breaking down Jaws, which we've done Jaws before, but it's such an awesome movie that screw it. We had to talk about it again. I'd love to hear what these guys have to say about Jaws. So join us here in just a second. We'll be right back.
In a world where a night out can cost a fortune, comes a night out that only costs $3.
I gotta get out of here. I'm so glad you made it. The show's about to start. Everyone says it's to die for. Come on.
That's a lot of entertainment for $3.
You're under the ground in the coffins underneath, with dancing, bouncing skeleton skulls and happily chattering teeth. So don't make the error of running in terror. Things could be so much more fun if you'd empty your head of gray matter instead and join us, 'cause we've just begun. Bury me in the cemetery. I want people to dance on my grave. Not alone, I'll strip to the bone, and in the moonlight misbehave. Why do people always run and hide when they're in our company? If they were wise, they'd realize we're dead, but we love to party. So if you're miffed on the grave,
You're not like some crazy wackadoodle, are you?
make a goal to dig a 6-foot hole and come join us, the party's just begun. Bury me in the cemetery. I want people to dance on my grave. Not alone, they'll strip to the bone.
See this movie, or you might be in trouble. We're not saying you will, but it could happen.
One never knows what one is going to find when one starts digging. I like to know what's going on beneath the surface, the secrets we keep from one another. Even the best of people have awful things buried deep inside, those skeletons in the closet. That's what I like best, finding buried tales.
A lot of time to think about those many things that happiness in death brings.
Welcome back to Film Speak. We are here to talk about Jaws, the movie that started the summer blockbuster revolution, changed the way movie theaters and films, I think, were made forever after it. Just an absolutely huge and important film, so much so that it needed 2 Film Speak episodes to talk about it. So before I carry on and on and on about my love for the film Jaws, we'll start off here with, well, you know what, we started with you last time. Let's start with John.
I saw Jaws at a really early age, and I just absolutely fell in love with it. I was, you know, one of those things where you're a little traumatized when you watch it. You know, you don't go in the water for a little while, But I just loved the suspense and the artistry that went into that film. It's not like most horror films.
Yeah.
A lot went into it, and I know that they had so many production delays and problems with Bruce the Mechanical Shark. That it's the final product that came out of all that trouble that they had with it is just spectacular that they were able to pull that off.
Well, I know, like you were saying, the troubles they were having with Bruce, the Mechanical Shark. They wanted the shark to be in the movie a lot more. They wanted to show a lot more of the shark, but because of the problems they were having, they couldn't. And I think that worked in their favor.
I agree with that. Yeah.
It's like the Hitchcock less is more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly what I was thinking of right then. Yeah. So builds the suspense. I thought the acting in the movie was great. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, Bruce is very realistic looking great white, and that adds to the fear and the terror. And I enjoyed that as a kid too, watching Jaws. And it's funny because I have 2 children, and I have a 7-year-old son, 9-year-old daughter, and my 9-year-old daughter is very easily scared. She won't even watch Jurassic Park, right? But my son loves scary movies, and he likes Jaws a lot. He can't get enough of it. Thinks it's awesome, and it doesn't affect his desire to swim and stuff. And he's my beach buddy anyway when we go to the beach. But I think the acting was great. I really like Richard Dreyfuss.
Absolutely.
He's one of my favorite actors.
Yeah.
Very underrated as an actor.
I don't think enough credit is given to Robert Shaw as well.
Robert
He was incredible in that movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah. In fact, his the Indianapolis speech that he gives when they're on the boat at night is one of my favorite speeches in any movie.
Yeah.
I think it's incredible.
It's chilling.
Yeah.
I had heard that Shaw tortured Dreyfuss for the whole filming of the movie. Just absolutely every time he got around him, belittled him. And through the whole movie, Dreyfuss hated him for the way he was treating him.
Which played into the performances.
But that's why Robert Shaw did it, was because he wanted that chemistry, or anti-chemistry, I guess you would say,
method.
between the two of them.
That's real method right there.
And Richard Dreyfuss said he was just blown away after the film wrapped, and Shaw came up to him, was just like, "Great job, you were just wonderful." And he's like, "What the heck?"
I thought you hated me.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But he was doing it all for the characters in the film because of the way they were constantly trading jabs and everything.
Yeah. And that's part of what makes Jaws such a great film is that, unlike a good number of horror films, they take the time to develop the characters.
Yeah.
Really make them care about them.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm a fan of horror, but I don't like a lot of horror because of that. Because to me, I think horror is rooted in character. Because if you don't care about the character, there is no horror. And it ends up being Nightmare on Elm Street 6, where instead of caring about the characters, all you're caring about is how is this person going to die next. You know what I mean? And you need that emotional connection, because then it does become what horror is, which is horrible. When you see somebody that you have related to, grown an attachment to, get their guts ripped out or bitten in half by a shark. That's to me, that's where the horror comes from. And I watched a show one time. It was the top 36 horror movies of all time, and Jaws was number 1. And I thought at first I was like, Jaws, really? Number 1 horror movie?
Yeah.
And then they had Rob Zombie on, and he described it best. He said that when Jaws first came out, he was in high school, and he went with his friends to go see it at the theater. After they got out, they went to Denny's, and he was in a Denny's bathroom taking a leak, and the whole time looking over his shoulder to see if a great white was going to come up and bite him. And he said, if any movie has an effect on you to where you're peeing in the middle of a restaurant, in Manhattan, worrying about a shark coming to get you, that is horror.
Right. I don't know this to be a fact, but I would not be surprised if Jaws did a lot to increase human fear and I don't know, animosity towards sharks, generally speaking, all variety of sharks.
It did. I know that shark hunting increased after Jaws.
Yep.
The wide-scale slaughter of sharks, and it was kind of based on a true story. that happened back in 1911-ish or something.
Yeah,
like
there
that.
was a couple attacks along a 50-mile stretch of beach.
And then it went up a river too,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
attacked
in
a
recent
kid.
times, you talking about like this started with Pensacola, Florida, and then I think it was like 2007 or 2008 or something like that, and there were like 3 or 4 more attacks in the same spot. People were shooting them. Like,
Yeah.
you know, one little girl was saved because her father had a gun and shot the shark, you know, and saved her life, and she
It's
wasn't.
a shame that people were going after great whites
Yeah,
because
yeah.
great whites don't really attack people that much.
No.
We're not in their, we're not in their diet.
No.
You know, a lot of times when people get attacked by great whites, it's a single bite. The shark bites them, goes, oh, that tastes like crap, and swims on, but it's still, you know, a bite, one single bite this big was still going to might kill you.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, I know that Peter Benchley, who wrote the novel, he consulted with a shark expert when he was writing the book. And after the book came out, the shark expert came back to him and said, "You're totally misrepresenting these guys." You know, he got a lot of
flack.
Yeah, a lot of flack from that. But,
I mean, but for entertainment value.
Sure,
It's-
absolutely.
He wasn't trying to write a documentary to be
Absolutely
made into a
not,
documentary
absolutely
film.
not.
It
Yeah.
was an entertainment movie.
Yeah, but the movie did impact a lot of the beach resorts that summer. A lot of people canceled their vacations because they were afraid of.
I had trouble getting in a pool.
Yeah.
I'll admit it. I was 7 years old. I had trouble getting into the pool.
Have you guys eaten shark?
Yes.
I have not.
Yes, delicious. I grill it.
It's very good. It's like a white meat.
Yeah.
And it's well, I don't know what breed of shark I had, but it was in St. Louis, Missouri, at the Union Station. There was a restaurant there several years ago. Could still be there. I don't know. And it was called Key West Cafe, and it was a menu item. And I think it was like shark tail or something. And it was several little nuggets, and it was white meat, but it was like white steak. It wasn't like the flaky texture of most fish that you're served at a restaurant. It was like a steak, and it was white, and it was not like chicken though. It was just
I've
really
had grilled mako shark
Yeah.
before, and then I've had shark fin soup, which was pretty good. Good stuff. Now, from the filmmaking craft, before we wrap this up, some neat little tidbits about Jaws. One being when you see the diver next to the live shark, it's supposed to be Richard Dreyfuss, and he's in his scuba gear, and you see the shark swim by. That was actually a midget, a dwarf, that they put into a wetsuit resembling Richard Dreyfuss's so that the shark would look bigger.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually only, I think, a 4'6" actor.
I see.
So that way the shark would look immense.
Yeah, yeah.
And the great scene, beautiful scene, where Richard Dreyfuss dives to the boat, you know, and you know, gets the shark tooth, and the dead body pops up and stuff. Spielberg had shot that in Maine, and then got back to Hollywood and did not like the footage, so he covered his pool in a tarp. And that scene is actually shot in Steven Spielberg's
Get
swimming
out.
pool in his backyard.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Well, it just goes to show you perspective, you know,
Right.
because what you see, you know, through the camera isn't necessarily what it really is.
Oh, don't
Yeah.
we know?
Yeah, I always liked the story of how they're debating how to end the movie, because in the book the shark literally just dies of exhaustion.
Yeah.
He does not blow up, and
Boring.
Spielberg wanted a more explosive finale, and so he talked to Peter Benchley, the novelist, about it, and Benchley just said, that will never happen. You can't shoot a tank and have it explode. And Spielberg just says, if we have the audience for 2 hours, they're gonna buy it. Trust me.
And it worked.
Yeah.
It is a great ending.
Yeah.
And we didn't mention Rob Schneider, because I thought Rob Schneider. Wait a minute. Rob Schneider.
Roy.
Yeah,
Schneider.
Roy Schneider.
Did just a tremendous job in that
Absolutely.
too.
Absolutely.
He's an actor that a lot of people forget about. But like in that Marathon Man also, where he played Dustin Hoffman's brother, I always thought he was just amazing.
Oh yeah, I mean, just those quiet moments, he sells it. You know, and remember when the mayor orders him to open the beaches, and he knows this isn't a good idea, but the mayor doesn't want to lose the business, the tourism, so he's opened the beaches and everything, and he's finally trying to calm down. And then the moment happens, and the child gets eaten, and the camera zooms up, and you can just the terror.
Everything in his face.
It's like his worst fear realized.
And comes that Richard Dreyfuss line of, "You're going to keep ignoring this problem until it swims up and bites you on the ass."
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys very much for coming and
Thanks for having us.
sharing your love for Jaws. Big movie of mine. It's something I have to watch at least once or twice a year.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Just for inspiration. But thank you guys very much for coming
Thanks,
on.
Bill.
It was
Thank you very
wonderful
much.
to have you.
Thank you.
Keep your eye out for these two gentlemen. They are marvelous actors and into lots of stuff. And watch out, Seattle. John's going to be taking over. Thank you guys. Have a great day. Support independent film.